Well, Yoon Ji is with us, the creator of GlobalFun, a new social platform that he's made to help people form new friendships with people nearby who have similar interests. And how are you today?
Doing really well, thank you, Toby. Glad to be here.
Yes, it's great to have you on the show. So, GlobalFun, what actually gave you the idea to create this application?
Well, I've had a lot of days when I've had a lot of free time and I didn't really know what to do with it. And
Hmm.
I've had a lot of days when I was really busy and I felt like I was being overworked, typical
Yeah.
college life. So I felt like I wasn't really maximizing the value out of my free time, and I wanted to figure out a way to solve that problem essentially. And I feel like interpersonal relationships are like one of the most essential factors for a person's quality of life,
Yeah.
and also like recreational activities, like like things you do on the side for fun. I felt like there was a way to like merge the two together, and that's why I came up with the idea for Gold Fun essentially.
Yeah. So that period of time when you had nothing to do, is that when you spent the time developing the app, as a way to sort of have something to do? Or was it more the idea of meeting people that fixed that?
Yeah, the idea essentially came first. Like I thought it would just be cool
Yeah.
if like you could surf through like a map essentially and see if there were like any like fun activities that other people wanted to commune to like meet up for. And I just got attracted to that concept, I guess, and I wanted to flesh it out and turn it into reality. So here I am.
Yeah, absolutely. And what would you say is the best thing about Global Fun?
Well, it's kind of like a blend between Facebook and Reddit. It
Hmm.
has like the live chatting and like posting like aspect of Facebook, and the communities of Reddit, but
Yeah.
but it's unique in its own way. So it's like a separate thing of itself. Essentially, like all the communities on the platform have two modes,
Oh.
global and local, and this like allows people to choose between interacting with everyone on this on like a specific like community, or like being able to like only like or choosing to only interact with like people nearby.
Hmm.
So global like obviously takes advantage of the network effect. So in Global Fun, you actually need to get approved to create a community as opposed to like Reddit,
Yeah.
where like you can kind of do that on your own. So like an admin would have to look through the community requests that people have made and check to see if like a similar community already exists. So essentially like that eliminates like the possibility for duplicates,
Yeah.
and encourages like everyone like of like similar interests to like connect together. And local mode essentially after like attaining like your permission, uses your location to actually only show you other local mode posts that were made within a certain distance of like where you actually are. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the idea of being able to switch between local and global. Are there different purposes of having local and global? You'd want to be in those modes for different things.
Right, yeah. So like essentially if you just want more news on like
Mm.
your favorite hobbies, or want to like find out what's happening like in like your want to find out what's happening like in the world about a certain activity, like you can go to global mode. It's like
Yeah.
it's supposed to essentially be like never ending content. That's the idea anyway. While if you want to actually meet people and like make new friendships and stuff like that, you would go to local mode and like you'd be connected with a bunch of people immediately who like not only share your interests but are also close enough for you to hang out with essentially.
Yeah. Now, as well as developing this platform, you've also got your book, Qualitative Morality, a universally applicable moral system. So, what's that book all about?
It's more of a booklet than a
Mm.
full scale book. It was sort of like a what you would call a first attempt
Yeah.
at a novel. My plan is like before I die, I like write a much more comprehensive version of it essentially. Yeah, so I just wanted to like, so I was a bit frustrated because of moral relativism now.
Mm.
Its definition constantly changes like every other like contemporary topic. But I was a little annoyed at the fact that some people were saying that morality was entirely relative and that there were no objective principles that like people would agree with because it was all like culturally defined.
Yeah.
And I felt like that wasn't true. I felt like a universal factor that everyone would agree is important for a person's life is their own quality of life.
Yeah.
And it's essentially a book that it elaborates on a moral system built upon like defining good and bad in terms of how an action can affect someone's quality of life.
Yeah.
Like if it raises someone's quality of life, it's good, and if it lowers someone's quality of life, it's bad. And then I actually go into detail about what actually determines a person's quality of life in terms of like physiological and psychological factors, taking inspiration on like something very well known like Maslow's like hierarchy of needs. It's basically a needs-based system, yeah.
Yeah. And would you consider writing more books in the future? Maybe ones that aren't just a booklet?
Yeah, so I do plan on like coming out with a more comprehensive version
Yeah.
of my first attempt, like before I die at least. The idea is that it'll like cover topics like consciousness, free will, and morality,
Yeah.
essentially starting at the very basis of like human life when we're first born into the world, and then moving on to like the reality of our situation and how we have agency and like how we're supposed to experience and how we're given the ability to experience life like through our choices
Yeah.
and finally ending upon like what we should do like with that freedom. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the latest book is called Qualitative Morality by Yoon Jae, and it's available on Amazon. And you can find Global Fun at globalfun.earth. And many thanks for joining us on the show today. It's been great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.